Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at noon, everyone. I'm Karen Campbell. We begin with the latest on the Delphi murders trial. The defense team is filing a new motion to allow their Odinism theory to be introduced. Attorneys for Richard Allen say Abby Williams and Libby German may have been part of a ritual killing, but they need the special judge's permission to share that theory with the jury. They filed a new motion this morning, citing testimony from the state's witnesses to allow their theory in trial. They say the crime scene shows clear signs of ritual murder, pointing to a branch of Norse paganism called Odinism. Allen's attorneys argue blocking the Odinism theory and explanation would violate his constitutional right to provide alternative explanations to the state's evidence. Abby Williams and Libby German went missing on February 13th back in 2017. Their bodies were found the next day near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi. These arguments took place without the jury in the room and before witnesses took the stand today. WTHR once again has a reporter in the courtroom for today's session, and we will have complete updates later today on 13 News starting at 4 o'clock. And this Delphi case also took our team covering it to Fort Wayne. That is where our Emily Longnecker combed through thousands of pages of exhibits from both the prosecution and the defense, all from pretrial hearings in July and August. Now, one of the most notable exhibits was a letter reportedly from Richard Allen to the Indiana Department of Correction warden. It's dated March 5th, 2023, and requests an interview with the warden. The state says Allen wrote, "I am ready to officially confess for killing Abby and Libby. I hope I get the opportunity to tell the families I'm sorry." Allen's defense team has pushed back on the alleged confessions Allen made while behind bars. His attorneys claim he made them under mental duress. Now in August, Judge Gohl ruled the jury will be able to hear the confessions in court. And as the trial continues, we want you to join us at 10 p.m. on WTHR Plus for our Delphi debrief show. Our Bob Siegel, Emily Longnecker, and our legal expert will break down the major developments from the courtroom Monday through Friday to keep you up to date with the latest news from the trial. Now you can download our free streaming app, which is on Apple TV, Amazon, Fire Stick, and Roku. All right, let's get you a check on our forecast. Look at that. We're giving you a live look right now over downtown Indianapolis, and Sean Ash is here with us now. And, walking into work this morning around 9:30 or so, I was pleasantly surprised because it seems to be still in this warm stretch, right?
You should have our free app on your phone.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises, always. And I don't want you to get caught off guard tomorrow morning because it's going to feel a lot different.
Okay.
Come tomorrow, as we're going to be on the backside of this front here, Karen. Let's talk what's going on right now. Boy, just another warmer than average afternoon. Our average high now is at 63 degrees. Many areas already 10 degrees above that from Indy and points to the east and southeast. You can notice Lafayette's at 64. There's a wind shift with the front that we've talked about. It's the first of two fronts that will impact us before the weekend. Second one's going to be on Friday. You can see 5 to almost 10 degrees cooler Kokomo, Lafayette compared to 24 hours ago. On the north side of the front, also with cloud cover. Brighter day afternoon to the southeast, much cloudier to the northwest with the real slim chance that this front squeezes out a couple of sprinkles or a passing shower. Otherwise, clouds have more bark than bite. But that front will settle to the south of us, and as we go through the remainder of the day, temperatures are going to start to gradually fall from the northwest. We'll talk about how cold it gets tonight and the weekend outlook, all ahead in the 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
New this afternoon, a missing soldier originally from northern Indiana has been found dead. The Army Criminal Investigation Division is investigating the death of Sergeant Sarah Roque. The 23-year-old was reported missing Tuesday and was found yesterday. Roque worked as a mine dog handler at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. The Army has not released any details about how she died or how she was discovered. The driver accused of hitting and killing a 14-year-old boy, then leaving the scene, is in jail this afternoon. 35-year-old Joshua Rain made his first appearance before a judge yesterday, and 13 News had the only camera in court. Police say Rain hit 14-year-old Willie Rivera on the Far East Side nearly 2 weeks ago. Rivera was riding his bike at the time, and police say Rain told investigators he thought he hit a deer. Officers say they found pieces of his car at the scene. They also got video from a neighbor. At the time of the crash, Rain was on probation for other charges. Now, we asked his attorney about these allegations.
No, we don't have a comment. No, he has an attorney. We have no comment. Thank you.
If it wasn't for the warrant issue and him already being in trouble for a previous case, I don't think he'd have been here. If it wasn't for the fact that his license plate fell out on the ground, I don't think we'd be here. I don't think he would have told.
That was Willie's aunt. She says they knew the suspect. Rain is now charged with one count of leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. His jury trial was set to start in December. Well, this is the second person to have turned themselves in for allegedly killing someone in a hit and run this week. According to IMPD, we've had 16 deadly hit and run crashes this year, with 16 closed. As our Chase Howell reports, there are other hit and run cases with survivors still waiting for justice.
Security video from a home on North High School Road shows the exact moment Dustin Dove's life changed. Circled is the car flying down the street and hitting Dove before driving off.
Maybe they were scared about having something in their vehicle they shouldn't have had or something like that at the time, but go fix it afterwards, you know.
Dove and I first spoke 2 days after he was hit from his hospital bed in August. It was then we learned one of his legs would need to be amputated.
I went from working 40 hours a week to not working and just trying to piece my life together.
After nearly a month at the VA hospital, the Army veteran got to go home, but not to how he left it the night the crash happened. The bedroom he now sits in used to be the living room of his 2-story apartment.
Most of the time it's sliding around in a wheelchair, and you got one-way traffic through certain areas and just a couple of places to U-turn. It's not like having your legs.
Though it's not being in a wheelchair or where he sleeps at night that bugs him. Dove says it's the fact that he can't play outside like he used to with his 7-year-old daughter.
Every time we went out and walked the dogs, I had her on my shoulders. She loved it, and I think that was one of the first things that she asked about after my leg was gone, was whether or not riding on my shoulders was over.
In Dove's hands, the glasses he was wearing the night he was hit. He says they serve as a reminder of what happened. But as he looks at himself in the mirror, little hearts taped onto it serve as his biggest reminder that he's loved.
And that was our Chase Howell reporting. Now, Dove says it will be another 6 months before he gets into his prosthetic. As for the person who hit him, police are still looking for that driver. Right now, investigators are looking into a deadly apartment fire in Greenwood. It happened around 5 o'clock yesterday at the Cambridge Square Apartments. That's near County Line Road and Madison Avenue. When firefighters arrived, they found a person in one of the apartments. The victim was taken to a hospital here in Indianapolis where he died. Right now, Greenwood authorities and the state fire marshal's office, they're investigating what caused that fire. Investigators in Whiteland are trying to figure out what caused this massive barn fire. You can see, of course, the large clouds of black smoke coming from multiple buildings off Hurricane Road. That's not far from I-65 and Tracy Road. Multiple agencies responded to the scene to get the fire under control. And now we are working to find out if anyone was injured.